Hello and welcome back to my PPR F1 League Racing series. If you want to avoid spoilers, check out the card annotation in the top right hand corner of your screens. But let's take a look at the championship standings before we get into round 4 of this series. This is the championship so far. We are currently in P4 in the championship after getting a podium last time out at the Monaco Grand Prix. Great result for us, and we are miles clear of our championship rival, which of course is Dirk Chocolate, which some of you may know. Constructors Championship as well, we're looking good. We're only 14 points behind in that one as well. So everything is up to play for at the moment. We head into round 4. We're at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Baku is a circuit where I can do a reasonable job at, but I never really feel confident around this circuit. But nevertheless, let's take you on for an onboard of my best qualifying lap here at the Azerbaijan GP. Down to turn 2 now, into third and second gear. A little bit wide there, not the greatest of corners. As I say, struggling a little bit around Baku. We actually get the lap time in earlier in the session because rain comes later on, and that stops us from doing a quick lap time at the end of this qualifying. Through the left-hander of turn 3 there, nice and tidy, and through the right-hander as well. Maybe the gearing a little bit wrong, something we do need to work on. But as we said at the start of this series, this is my first season in league racing in F1. So we're just learning everything, and hopefully we can be a better driver by the end of the season. Cozzy goes purple there and sets the fastest time so far. We've not got a time on the board, currently way down in the depths of P18. Through the infamous castle section, and we get it all nice and tidy through there. No wall scraped, no I am stupid moments, so we are happy with that. The heart rate at about a stable 120 beats per minute at the moment. Very stressful scenario is driving round the city streets of Baku in a high intensity qualifying session. Just trying to get that banker in and make sure you don't crash, because if you ruin your banker, well, then you're going to be starting right at the back of the grid. Into the last section now. Markin going to actually hopefully give me a fantastic tow. He's my new teammate for Baku, and we're hoping that he could potentially be my teammate for the rest of the season as well. Going to be following him in the slipstream. Maybe a little bit too close, a little bit too early with Markin giving me the tow there. Would have preferred it all the way down towards the line, but nonetheless, DRS open, head down towards the line now, and it is going to be a 39.652. We get out of the way of Markin as he's actually starting his lap. And at the moment, a respectful P7. Unfortunately, with all the other drivers setting their time, in the end, it does mean we are P13. However, we do beat our rival of Dirk Chocolate by 0.3 of a second as well, so quite a big gap. But still, 1.6 seconds off the lead is something we do need to work on. Although Cozzy, 0.5 clear of the rest of the field. Great qualifying session from him, and he's going to be lining up on pole position today. Looking at the race strategy, looks like we're going to be starting on the soft tyres, maybe looking for the medium tyres later on in the race. Rear tyre wear is very high around Baku, but we'll be hoping to avoid that as much as possible and get a fantastic result as the formation lap is about to begin here for the Baku GP. We've got Dirk Chocolate lining up behind us in P14. We're P13 on the grid, and some really good competitive drivers ahead of us. So hopefully we can gain on them and maybe get into a decent position as Markin drives through us there. Our teammate, hopefully he can get a solid job for Red Bull. And again, we can keep challenging for the Constructors' Championship. The only driver actually on the soft tyres out of everybody else in the field. Everybody going for that alternate strategy, mediums then hards. Obviously the tyres are going to last for a lot longer, but we're going to go aggressive, hoping for safety cars. 5 red lights here in Baku, and it is lights out and away we go. And it's a decent start. Not the best start we've had, but a decent start. Going to keep it cautious though around the outside of turn 1. Look at the red arrows all over the place. Davey Lee goes for a spin. We were very cautious there. We had to avoid him. Unfortunately, it lost us a few positions, but as a net overall start, we've not gained and we've not lost. We're still in P13 as Noel Lynch just touches the wall there on the right hand side. Should hopefully be an easy overtake on the Haas drive. So we're following the Williams car of McNeish now, so we get a little tap in the rear there from Noel Lynch. Hopefully that is no diffuser damage, because of course you can get damage all over the car in F1 2021, but always looking good at the moment. As we go through the last proper corner now here in Baku on the first lap, and we've lost the back end. We've gone straight into the barriers. And we are very, very, very lucky, boy, there. We are very lucky not to have lost any sort of tyre, because we hit that front on right on the nose. If we were at a slightly different angle, that's the tyre gone. We are out of this Grand Prix after one lap. So we're coming into the pits, going to be getting a new front wing. Obviously, strategy out of the window now. And we're going to be pitting for what looks like medium tyres. So maybe going for a medium to a hard or a medium to a soft and see what happens. But Davey Lee also into the pits early on. Of course, he had that spin on the first corner. Noel Lynch also into the pits, and so is TJD. So a lot of other drivers having issues in the first lap. Safety cars, we have seen them in the last couple of races, hoping to see them more. And Markins retired for the session. So is McNeish. And so have a few others. We're down to 19 drivers now in this race. We've lost a fair few drivers in this race. We're actually 19th out of 19th with TJD in 20th. I think we've actually lost more than that many drivers. There is a lot of DNFs. We've got Rawnak. He's DNF'd. Dark's DNF'd. We're actually up into P14 now as we catch up with everyone else. Davey Lee coming into the pits, maybe going for a different strategy, taking that opportunity to come into the pits, select new tyres, and we're up to P12. So despite the spin on the first lap, we've got very lucky, and we're now P12 as we prepare to go racing once again. A little bit off of the safety car restart. Alex Budd in the McLaren, another person you may know from Twitch, a little bit further up the road ahead of us, but we'll be looking to see what we can gain on the other drivers. Is somebody coming out of the pit lane or maybe having a spin? We're up to P11 nonetheless. Having a little look around the outside of Alex here now, trying to get on the traction if we can pull that off. That is an absolutely fantastic overtake. What a move to get ourselves into P10. Championship contender Jim Wong now is just ahead of us with Ashes as Alex goes for a dive up the inside. We're going to give him the space and now go round the outside once again, nice and smooth as you like, and hold on to that position. But what a move. That was beautiful to overtake Alex Budd around the outside of turn 2 and get into the points now. Jim Wong not looking good at the moment. We have a little contact there with the wall. I think we might have just about got away with that as Alex goes for a little send up the inside into the last proper corner. And we're not gonna fight him too much because it's gonna lose us time to the rest of the drive. It's gonna tuck back in the slipstream, and who knows? We're gonna get the slipstream. Maybe we can get him back if we have lower wings than Alex does. We head now down in towards turn 1. Alex, of course, also has a 5-second time penalty, but that could have happened on the safety car. Potentially, that could be removed. So we've got to make sure that we get it done on the track. Noel Lynch also having a little look at us down in towards turn 1. Who's going to be the best of the late breakers? He goes for it again. We're just taking it cautious at this stage of the race. We're on lap 7. We've already had one spin as we get the ERS on now, going up the inside in towards turn 2. Oh, that was a big dive. We just said we're going to be cautious, and then we go for an absolute send into turn 2, nearly going into the barrier, and luckily just about giving Noel Lynch enough room behind us as now Rickett goes for a send up the inside. We're going to just take it cautiously again around the outside. No room there. Rickett closes the door, and we just have to settle for P12 for the time being. We're in this train, not really where we want to be at the moment. We want to stop fighting and allow ourselves to catch up to the guys up front, as Noel Lynch again now all over my tail, actually closer to me than I am closer to Rickett up ahead. As we've got another DNF, it's Flow Kits, and they are out, and this is another safety car. Safety car has been deployed once again here on lap 8. So it's basically, it's like IndyCar. There's a lot of Indy 500. There's a lot of safety cars, a lot of yellow flag periods. We've just got to be in the right position at the end of this race, and hopefully we can do this. We're up to P5. So the mediums trying to eke these out for as long as possible. What we're basically doing is banking on another safety car being out later on the race. We're now up to P4 in this race, and look who is in second. Look who is in second place. There he is, Dirk Chocolate in P2. Somehow, we are now right to his tail. He's had a fantastic race, been working up, getting into those positions. I've pretty much lucked out. I spun on lap 1. I've gained a lot of these positions through the safety car, but, strategy is a very important part of Formula 1 at the end of the day. If you get the strategy right, it can mean a whole deal to a lot of drivers in the field. So we've got a good safety car restart, actually really on the back of Ashes as we go down in towards turn 1, having a little look up the inside, but taking it cautiously. Don't want to damage ourselves. We're in such a great position. I'd rather just settle for P4, but we do actually get the move done on the exit. Ashes, not the greatest of exits through there, but go a little bit too deep into turn 2, but nonetheless hold the position, and the heart rate through the roof at this point, 160. God, we need to go see a doctor. But there we go, onto the podium at the moment, and now potentially hunting down Dirk Chocolate, who's in P2. DM guy up to P4 now with TJD getting a drive through, so we get a push through the right-hander, and we're into the barrier. We're out. We are out of this race. We got a huge push through the final corner, and unfortunately, we have been done by desync there, because this race happened when all the desync was going on the F1 2021 game, and unfortunately DM Guy was desynced. He couldn't see anyone. He thought he had the start of his life, just overtaking everybody and just miles clear of everybody, and unfortunately just instead of driving through me, drives into me. Thankfully though, the stewards reviewed it all, realised it was desync, and decided to call a red flag just where I think it was like the start of lap 11 or end of lap 11 where the safety car was. But here we go, 5 red lights for the restart after red flag, and it is lights out, and away we go from P4 in this race. And it's not a decent start at all. It's actually a terrible start as we go through the left-hander. Side by side at the moment with Noel Lynch doing a cracking job, holding myself wheel to wheel now through the left-hander. Can we get the job done up the inside? Yes, we can, but he's still there. But we get a great attraction off the corner using our ERS, trying to just tuck over to the right-hand side to maybe get that slipstream. But unfortunately, Noel Lynch just sticking his nose in there. We're not able to get that slipstream, so we need to be smarter through this left-hander, and we just weren't. Noel Lynch, great through that left-hander, just slingshots his way right around the outside, and a fantastic move there from the Haas driver. But now we're on the attack. It's still lap 1 of race 2, the restart, 13 laps to go, and we're going to go to the inside line now on Noel Lynch, hold it wheel to wheel, all the way down in towards turn 1, and I think we just got a much greater straight line speed, and we're going to hold on to that. Unfortunately though, the battle between myself and Noel Lynch has cost me Ashes, and of course Dirk Chocolate as well, quite a bit far up the road as Ashes overtaken Dirk. Noel Lynch coming back at me down in towards turn 1, and we're going to hold that. And we've actually gained a fair amount of time on Dirk Chocolate and Ashes, who have been holding each other up while they had that little battle there. Virtual safety car has been deployed here on lap 2 now, so unfortunately it means that we're not... Oh, no, there we go. Safety car. I was about to say, virtual safety car is going to stop us from catching up, but the safety car will allow me to go right to the back of Ashes. And no, actually, Dirk Chocolate, because he is just in front of us. But I'm not too sure if everybody's going to come into the pits for maybe mediums or hards, take that free pit stop and go till the end. But just like earlier, potentially there could be a lot of safety cars, and we are all deciding to do that. So into the pit lane we come, as goes everybody, getting rid of these soft tyres because they're not really going to last for too much longer. The mediums will last all the way till the end of this race. So into the box, quick pit stop from the Red Bull boys, and away we go. How does it work out compared to Dirk? Oh, look at that, just sneaking out ahead of me there, lucky boy. And we're into P5 now. A few drivers deciding they didn't want to come into the pits, and they're going to do so now. At least one of them is, because we're now in P4. But there is the leader of Kozzy, who actually I believe was there the whole time. So we are actually back into P4, which is where we were. So Kozzy back into the lead. Asher's overtaking Dirk Chocolate just before the safety car period. And we're back in P4. But we've got Weasel Albon. Obviously, we kept him behind us in Monaco. DM Guy, we know, is very quick as well. He's the one who crashed into us through the desync. As now we're going to be hunting down Dirk and Asher's. They're going wheel to wheel on the safety car restart. We're going to try and see if there is an opening somewhere, maybe around the outsides. We have a little look around the outside of Dirk, but just not able to do that. Dirk covering that off very nicely, and now having a look up the inside Dirk, but again, not really wanting to risk sending it up the inside, especially on my main rival, because we take both of us out, or I take myself out, then that's a lot of points in Dirk's favour. As we're now on lap 6, coming through the left-hander, esports corners, it used to be known, and it's happened again. We've been absolutely sent in the rear by an Alfa Romeo, and again, it is all because of desync, and now we've got to do the worst 50-point turn that you have ever seen. Just trying to... It's Mahavir Raghunathan scenes again in Baku as we get the car turned around finally. Luckily, I think we escaped that with no damage. I don't think I touched the wall there. So we did. We actually escaped that without any damage. Unfortunately, we've got desync as well because Alex Budd is not actually in P10. He is much further up the field. He's like down in P7, P6 at this stage of the race. And now we've got a really slow AI car that is not actually there, holding us up for the longest time. This was one of the most frustrating battles I think I've ever had. Because not only, if it was an actual person, fair enough, they're doing a great job of defending. I can't overtake them. But this is somebody who is not even here. It's just for everybody else, I'm being held up by a ghost, okay? Everyone's like, why is Hayden driving so slowly? We go for a send up the inside into the hairpin before the castle section, and finally we get the overtake done. But that lost us so much time. DM Guy on the soft tyres, 9 seconds behind us now, as unfortunately Just like what happened in Monaco, the Streamlabs has died. So we've lost our footage, so we're onto the race replay footage, and we're going to get some delta and timing screens that you're going to be able to see. So here we go, lap 13, last lap of the race. We're in P11. Now, this is the real Alex Budd. He had a little battle with TJD, which cost him a little bit of damage, and unfortunately for Alex, I don't want to take this from him, because he hasn't scored a point yet this season. But at the same time, we've got our own championship to fight. We need to make sure we get a good point. We've scored points so far in every race this season. We want to carry that on, and we move up into P10 as we now head into the castle section now. Really gaining on 256 as a yellow flag. 256 parked it at the castle section on the last lap. We have gained 2 positions on the final lap. When it looked like we were not going to score points in this race, we are now into P9, and that is why you never ever give up in these races. We finish in P9 on the track, and after penalties, we actually finish in P8. We jump Greaser, who got a penalty. I don't think for taking me out. I think it was another penalty because he didn't really deserve for taking me out because it was desync at the end of the day. But finishing the race in P8. But look who finished in P2. Look at that guy. P2. He is absolutely elated with that second place. Best result of the season out of the two of us, annoyingly. And how that shapes up for the Drivers' Championship means that Dirk Chocolate is now only 5 points behind me in the Drivers' Championship. We're way off the Drivers' Championship now. We were never really looking to fight it, but we are still in P4, so a good season so far for us. And looking in the Constructors' Championship, yes, we lost out a lot of points today, but we're still only 21 points behind. No, 19 points behind, actually. You can't do maths. 19 points behind the AlphaTauri. So everything is still to play for in the Constructors. We can potentially come back as we go racing next time around at the Belgian Grand Prix. I know it says Italian Grand Prix, but because of the desync, we didn't race for a whole month, so we go to Belgium. But thank you very much, everyone, for watching. If you have enjoyed this, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new around here, and of course, if you want to watch these live, go check out my Twitch channel. Happen on a Wednesday at 8 PM UK time. But until then, guys, have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.